So glad to be here. I think that's Mary Beth. Hello, Mary Beth. Hello, all of you who are here. My name's Alex Levin. We're here to do a short meditation together. I'll say a few words, and in the beginning here, as I talk, you can get your spot ready, your seat ready for a comfortable sitting. For that will be about 12 minutes long once we get to that stillness part. You can also do some stretching or moving in this time, in these few minutes that I talk. Basically, my talking is not necessary. It's um, some of the leanest instruction that I've had for meditation from Adyashanti, from a book called, I gave it away. It's called, I think, The Presence. Um, that said the main two things of our practice is intention and attention. Very simple. And also was in the meditation in that book that it suggested how to do it. It was just sit and observe your breath. And that's true, but there's also so much more, really. So there's this ease, there's this simplicity, and I'll even lump that in with the oneness, that the integration, that where the tastes of that and the yearning for that, which I think is in all of us, is 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 sort of this peaceful place, this place of harmony. And we seem to know that that's a home, that's our true self, or some aspect, some way we can understand ourselves, perspective. And yet, and I think it's almost from that, I'm not sure. I'm always checking out, verifying from that well of unity. And I'm reading, finally getting around to reading Bill Bryson's book, A Short History of Almost Everything. I'm just in the very beginning pages where he's talking about his version of having interviewed, having studied the Big Bang and how the universe began. And really, as the Upanishads, the ancient texts of the yogis, say that from nothing, from fullness came fullness, from nothing came everything. And it's hard to wrap our minds around what that nothing is, but it's as if something infinite, something, a source. So, in our everyday experience, and even right now as I'm speaking, there's the tones of my voice, the words that we get come to understand as we learn language, the feel of our body against the ground, the temperature of this room. I was saying earlier, contrast of the temperature here in Virginia 4 days ago was at near 90 degrees, and today at 45 degrees this morning when I walked. These contrasts, and in these contrasts is a richness of our life. This prickly cactus next to me that I enjoy and nurture, and the the taste of my water, the taste of my coffee, all of that richness. And one of the gifts, and as I titled this Generous Encounters, I was thinking about all the ways that we meet other, anything other, one texture to another, one hand, the palm of my left hand touching the palm of my right hand. And some gifts that we get in our practice of sitting. Sometimes we get the gifts of a deep stillness, of sensing our breath, things that we feel are positive or nurturing. And we also get gifts of what feels like a pain that we're carrying, a suffering, um, physical, emotional. As we make the space in our sitting practice for meeting those, for holding those in some way. And these encounters are so fast in terms of time and how our mind processes things. And another gift of this practice is that the quiet, the silence, the stillness creates a space where we almost slow down time, or we can seem to do that. And if something arises that's more difficult, that's a knot, that we notice ourselves tightening up against, we might begin to see that, hmm, this is a gift of a generous encounter we might have, and so necessary to have set up this whole practice at a place that feels like we're safe, that we're quiet in a community that we feel supported in. And then we start to be able to take these knots. I'll just take an example of some of the tension I was feeling in my belly and to entertain it, to welcome it. And the welcoming might need to be so there's a whole lot of richness in just this encounter that can seem so momentary and have a certain reaction from us. And when we give it this space and time, we come to that place of meditation. So, attention, we bring attention to this place and time. And then we start to have, as if there we set up a availability of a communication. So, I'm just going to go with this tightness in my belly feel. And if this was something that was really very difficult for me, I might even invite it, this is all dreamlike, to be outside of me. So I might say, you know what? I really don't want you. I don't like you here. I'm going to put you over on the cushion about 3 feet away from me. Even though that is felt in my body, I can do this with my mind. I can say, in order to get to know you better, I need a little distance. And I'm going to put you right over here on my cushion and we can sit together. Meanwhile, you can also have your allies of community, of your groundedness, of your heart warmth for yourself, of the wisdom of our mind. And there are many different ways we can invite these, but just being here together. We've together, many of us cultivated this in our sun and moon community, our yoga community. And so we just allow ourselves to sit and be and listen and mm, and uh, and see what comes up. That listening allows us to drop away some of our past impressions and the ways we've um, reacted, the locked, fixed ideas we might have about something, and to open to what is the gift of this generous encounter. In this case, in my case, an example of a tightness that might be a habit from a long time ago, might be a protective habit, might be a way to keep my energy um, um, level up where I need it, but at some point that's too draining. And so those become um, insights, but even before it's a very encounter together, the willingness to be there for each other, the left hand for the right hand, the community for the individual. There's something very powerful, dare I say, healing right in that. And so, let me begin my timer as check to ensure your seat is how you'd like it to be for 12 minutes of sitting as we dive into a stillness, a silence, a listening, a listening that goes in and around simultaneously. So, starting with a bell and a bow, and we'll end there as well. So you might check the generous encounter of the body meeting the planet that supports us, giving a little generous time to truly feel how is it that these my sits bones, my skin, my legs, my pelvis, my feet, how these parts of me receive the supportive ground. And we take a little time, and you may have done this as I spoke on my theme, how each part is positioned and relates and supports and counters the other, the feet, the legs, the knees, the hips, the lower belly, lower back, the upper belly, the heart, the spine, the upper chest, upper back, shoulders, arms, hands, the neck, throat, and head. And the feel of this body, all these parts that we've just scanned, not separate from the earth as our body rests through the raining down gravity field. And the earth receives us. Maybe we can even imagine, sense how that receptivity feels for the earth. Our body warmth pouring into the blanket, the carpet, the tile floor, the cement, the garage below, and onward. The body senses the space around our ears, our eyes, if you have them lightly opened, or even if they're closed. Receive the light, patterns, shapes. Our ears receive sound. As you listen for and feel for sound, it's maybe not quite as located. It bridges the inner, the surface, the outer. And we can tune to our breath. So these three pointers: ground, sound, breath. Sensing into body sensations in that movement. Rubbery, spacious, brick. It can be the welcoming space for all of that. And we let ourselves settle toward this stillness where really there's nothing to do. The generous encounter might take no effort at all, especially as we sense in the stillness, in the silence, that view as if we're seeing ourselves from above or behind, from everywhere instead of just from in here. From that infinite allness. And if you find yourself struggling, you encounter that struggle, you might want to open to just meet that and also know that you might rest, you might smile inwardly. presence is already here. And we bow together, right hand, palm, meeting left palm, generous encounter, and the feel of the bow. Perhaps some humility, perhaps a quieting, perhaps a gratitude sense. But feel for yourself what words come out, what contrasts are known, and what is more and more specific. The very fresh, specific description that you have in each meeting is where we can find lots and lots of value. The richness of the all erupting into the many. So I wish you to notice the possibility for generous encounters through your week. And thank you for joining me here at Sun and Moon Studios YouTube portal, and join us here every weekday morning, 10 o'clock on the Eastern Time, Monday through Friday for a half-hour yoga. And I'll see you here again next Sunday. I'll be already in June. Thank you so, so much. Thank you for all of you who attend in person and all who watch afterward. Ciao, ciao. And I should just say, it's just so awesome how some of you show up with such commitment, Mary Beth, so much commitment again and again. And I think it nurtures us, doesn't it? Thank you.